Alright, what's up Dragon Brood? Today we're going to take a look at an interesting deck that kind of melds artifact stuff with +1/+1 counter stuff, and we're going to do a little bit of aggro things. So we're going to be checking a few boxes today, but mostly because there's some new cards that I want to fit into this list and see how they work out. So let's go get to it. Alright, since we're going to be playing a lot of artifacts, it's mostly because we want to trigger things with artifacts coming into play. So that's going to put us starting with Teething Wormlet. Obviously this card isn't going to live all the time early, but if it does, it becomes a very big creature very fast and can be really problematic for your opponent to deal with, while also gaining its life along the way. Also means we're going to be playing some Skrelv because, well, it's an artifact creature and it can protect our stuff, so definitely looking forward to playing this. And we're going to play Skrelv's Hive because this creates an artifact every turn, and that can't be bad when we want to trigger artifact stuff. Speaking of which, if we have Gallag Readers, every time one comes into play, we get to make another artifact so we can produce a treasure, which is kind of nice, and that can help a few things since we have a few activated abilities. On that front, we do have Tough Cookie. This has an activated ability that can let us get some 4/4s, but also a way to gain some life. It can double trigger some stuff that needs artifact triggers, so lots of cool stuff there. Speaking of which, if you want something to double trigger, this is the card we want with the Ocean Dissident. Every time an artifact enters the battlefield, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on something, so this is always great. Get us a bunch of different triggers, pile stuff up, kind of obvious what we're trying to do with that. One of the new cards, though, is Sentinel of the Nameless City. This actually produces an artifact every turn in the form of a map, which is great because now we can get extra triggers even during the attack step, which can be a little bit of a surprise, or we can just try to grow creatures pre-combat, which is pretty nice here. And since we're going to be playing all those counters, or getting all those counters, I should say, we're going to be playing Ozolith the Shattered Spire. Getting double counters is always awesome, especially when you have like double Dissidents out, something like that. You can just start piling it up very, very quickly. And so we can squeeze those creatures through after we get them really big and don't get them chump blocked. We are playing Kadama of the West Tree. Early on, it can help us get extra land, but this can also function as a finisher, which is pretty sweet, so we don't have like a 10/10 that just can't get through. And we're going to play another new card, which is Sovereign Okinec Ahau. This is actually really cool because every time you attack, the difference between your creature's base power and whatever it is now, you get that many +1/+1 counters. So if we already have counters on it, it's basically double the number of counters, which is super sweet when you combine this with Kodama, because now you're getting a big creature that gets trample. Really good stuff. And we're going to round things out with Archangel Elspeth because it makes us more bodies, which can give us some blockers, but can also just put counters directly on something. And real late in the game, we can get pretty much everything in the graveyard back into play. So yeah, those are going to be the key parts. If you want to see the full deck list, it will be at the end of the video like always, or you can go down to the description, look for the blue arrows. It'll take you to our Moxfield link where you can see today's deck and a bunch of other sweet stuff we have ready to play in Standard. For now though, get ready to play some games, and I'll give you a quick word from our sponsor.
CoolStuffInc.com is a proud sponsor of this channel, and you can show your support while getting 5% off your entire order by using promo code DRAGON at checkout. Need singles for constructed or kitchen table play? Looking to pick up sealed product or the latest in Magic accessories? We've got you covered. CoolStuffInc.com is the place for all your Magic the Gathering needs. And support this channel by using promo code DRAGON at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
Okay, we get to go first. Sure. I think we're just Wormlet, Greeters, Dissident, and try to get all the value. Hoping some combination of these early creatures live. Otherwise, this is gonna hurt. But I don't mind having like a full set of prairies because we have so many things that cost 2. It doesn't hurt us that much to take a turn off, you know? Alright. Let's see if they take their turn to just play a body here. Or they just sweep the board, deal 2 damage everything or something. Nope, there's an Invasion of Tarkir, probably killing a Gallag Readers. At least one would think. Alright, I'm going to go and roll with this. Attack. Gonna destroy a Skrelv's Hive? I would not be too sad about that. Looks like no. Do they not have any instants here? Huh. I'm going to do this. As much as I would like to play a Dissident first, if they just have like a make disappear, I'd rather be able to pay for this Ozolith. Alright. So they did have it. That worked out. Now, admittedly, we weren't going to get the extra counter because this first one coming into play had already triggered the Wormlet, but still felt like a safer strategy. Alright, then when the Brotherhood's in. Oh, they're doing that to destroy artifacts. Nice. Okay. Let's go good old Elspeth. So at least now, if they get a sweeper, we've got a Planeswalker and we have Skrell's Hive doing some work. Alright. Same thing. We're just going to keep on keeping on. Alright, pass turn. They might just have another one and just get rid of everything again. I mean, there are a lot of sweepers being played these days. Alright, might as well put it here. Wild the land? I know we're probably setting ourselves up for an ugly sunfall, but... Alright, I'm going to take a chance. If they have a way to kill this, they have a way to kill it. So be it. Or Wandering Emperor comes and eats something. Whatever. It gets a big hit either way. Yep, that's what I thought. Gonna eat our Restless Prairie.
I hope you're ready to lose.
Yep. Then a sweeper next turn. That's gonna suck.
I am almost sad to see you go.
But not much we can do about it. If they got it, they got it. Zergo. Interesting. That doesn't get us dead. I mean, it kills an Elspeth.
We've got the edge in this fight.
Alright, you get a dragon. I mean, can we just make this lethal? One of these comes into play. We turn one of those into 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, if we just minus Elspeth, that's 2 counters on something. Oh, but yeah, because they'll still only have 1 blocker. Alright. Seems legit. Man, we didn't draw... I was thinking even if we drew an artifact here, it'd be a bailout of some kind, but jeez. Alright. Making sure the math still works, but you block a 3, take 2, 4, 5, 6. Looks good to me. And we're still going to finish above 20 life on top of that. Wow. All right. Good one. Yeah, between Skrell's Hive and Elspeth, we were able to hold up against the double Brotherhoods and a Wandering Emperor. That's actually pretty slick. I thought that was getting away from us for a minute there. Oh, this is a tough one. All right, let's keep it. And I'm kind of banking on just drawing an untapped land here. Oh, it doesn't even matter against a black deck. We're never going to get to keep our Wormlet. Hey, we get to keep our hand. That's good, I guess. All right, let's see if we get there. This was a straight up gamble on just the Wormlet, which isn't going to get to stick, I'm sure. Oh, okay. I was wrong, but it didn't matter. We didn't draw an untapped land, so now we're toast. I knew what we were getting into, though. Can't blame anybody but myself. Took a gamble, didn't work. Alright, turn that into a 3/3. Seems good. And kill our Wormlet. No blocks. You might as well, because you're going to lose it, right? Yeah. And I got nothing else going on. Wow, that adds a bit of difficulty, doesn't it? I guess we just do this. And then that way next turn we have the option of playing like Wormlet plus Ozolith. And then see if we can figure something out from there. Yeah, still not blocking here. If the opponent's exhausting their hand until the point where we can get chump blockers, it does gain trample later, so that is something to keep in mind. Oh, they're just discarding Lord Skater? Oh, that's not good for us. And they got a cut down for our Tough Cookie. Oof, a lot of work to do still. Yep, away it goes. All right. Oh, now that's interesting. Huh. How do we get around this? I think we go Greeter's Wormlet. I mean, they probably have removal of some kind here anyway, but gotta try. Kill our Wormlet? No. Wonder what that's about. Sure, that gets to connect again. Wow, just discarding Shielders. What is this world? Alright, they found a go for the throat. So we're probably going to lose some things. Makes sense. Take 5. Okay. Alright. Now we have opportunity to make some things happen here. Gonna do this for sure. Now it's just, do we Tough Cookie or do we Sentinel? Sentinel uses up extra mana. Next turn, we'd be able to Tough Cookie plus this. No, we'd still be short unless we drew a land. I think I'm just going to Tough Cookie here. Get 2 life. No attacks. Mostly because we know what they have in the graveyard, so like we may end up having to block. Question is it worth it to even just double block here? And risk them having the removal? Like, I don't know. I guess we'll get to see if they have it. Or at least what they draw into. Okay, that helps a lot, actually. Oh, no! They got a cut down. Man! Well, I guess I'm just trading the Wormlet anyway for their 5/5. Since we have a Death Touch creature here. Take some trample damage. Bruh. That is such a good hit for them. Alright. We go to 10. You know, that's not too bad. Do we make this into a 5 for 6 toughness? I'm willing to crack this. See if we find a land. Ooh, Yoshin Dissonance. Well, you know what? We're going to leave that on top. Because we do have enough to play the Dissonant, play this, put counters on it. This could be the beginning of a chance to turn this around. So we'll see. If we get too low, though, we do have to pay attention to leaving 2 mana open for food. The other good thing, too, about the Sentinel, which is what I really like, is that they have Vigilance. Really? Man, bonus deck has so much removal. Alright, you got it. I mean, they know what we have on top, so that's not that surprising. Why is there a pause on the opponent's action? I guess they could activate this. Alright. I mean, now they're just top decking, though. I mean, I guess they're going to play this out of the yard at some point, but dang, you know? Alright. So we should, theoretically, be able to safely block both of these creatures. We'll trade for our Dissident. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, I don't even know if we trade. Yeah, okay. I was about to say, I don't even think we trade there, so we could go to 4. Go ahead and just block this up or whatever. They get their card. But then we get to play this minimum, right? We go to attack. This is going to create a trigger. So we have at least a 3-4 and a 5-6 possibly. Put counters on that next turn, then start attacking. Could have been a thing. I wonder if they conceded because they just ran out of cards and removal potentially. But man, look at this. Like, Bitter Triumph, cut down, go for the throat, cut down, Molten Collapse, all killed stuff. They just straight up discarded the Lord Skitter and the Shieldred because I guess they didn't think they needed it at some point. But yeah, that's a good one to come back from because we were so far behind. Okay, we go first. I mean, I suppose we'll keep it. Like, not a lot really going on, but it's a hand. We're playing against just some combo-y grifter thing. Looks like it might be. Go ahead and just play one of these. No attacks. I mean, I say that. I guess it could be a Reanimator thing, too. They just didn't flip anything quality. They are also not attacking. Curious. Alright, try a Tough Cookie. Try to put counters on my Tough Cookie. Alright, pass a turn. Draw 2 cards and discard 2. I mean, the only good news is we have a get lost for stuff that gets reanimated here. They've got 5 permanents in the graveyard. So we kind of know what's coming already. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, put a counter on. Alright, sounds good. Why not? Oh, another Tough Cookie. Don't think that's what we're looking for here. Also deciding what to do here. Alright, let's juice this up. Go to attack. Alright, jumping with that. I mean, even if we leave, I'm assuming they're just going to reanimate this. I mean, they could reanimate that, but... yeah, I'm assuming they're going to get Portal. I can kill the... oh, I can't kill the Portal with this. It doesn't destroy artifacts. That's unfortunate. Another Tough Cookie doesn't really do anything for us here, I don't think. So I'm just going to end the turn. Like, if they get their card, they get their card. Yep. Alright. GG's. They're good. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. I was just debating if I want to Skrell first, then Wormlet, or do I just want to Wormlet into Ozolith? I think I want to Skrell first, though. There's more possibility we'll be protecting something from, like, red or black spells. I at least want to give myself a chance. Alright. I mean, there's no guarantee, obviously. I could have just been giving up damage here, but better than nothing. Harvester, you got it, friend. Ooh, you're a thing, aren't you? You know what? I'm gonna gamble. If they have something that just deals 1 to everything or whatever, like, cost of doing business, we just get wrecked. Also, when they're playing 3 colors, they're more likely to have black removal than red removal. So if they were to target something, I would just choose black as the protective color there. Maybe they have a counter. I should have just played Ozolith first. I think I got a little greedy there. No attacks. Yeah, I feel like I got a little greedy. I feel like there's a make disappear there that I'm missing out on. Alright. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe that's all they had in hand. Because if they had actual... Well, maybe they wouldn't. I was going to say, if they had spot removal, they might try to double up, but maybe not. Alright, let's see if this works. Put a counter here, knowing that the Wormlet's also going to pump itself. And they have another one of those? They probably do. Yep. I was afraid of that. Resolve. Probably getting rid of this. Alright. Pass. Actually, I should have triggered the Ozolith. I should have put the counters on something. Even if I just put it on Scrove. Would have been fine. That was silly. Alright. I'll pay the white. Target this. Let them hit it with an instant, because I know they have it. Yep. It's kind of how it goes. Sometimes you just know. But on the other side, we did get them to expend a lot of resources to deal with their stuff here. And it feels like they still have a counter, so... I mean, we'll just have to play careful. Don't think we're going to get this on the board for a couple of turns still. But so far, their deck has just been removal. Okay, there you go. Shieldred makes sense. Draw. And sadly, it was just land. Man, this is all we can do. If they have more kill spells, they have more kill spells. If not, they're going to go digging for it. Alright. So they did have the make disappears. Alright. Is that enough to get us? Oh, they're not even attacking us there. Okay. Giving us a bit of a reprieve. That's nice. Love to see that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We don't want to do that because we want to leave mana open for this get lost, I think. Let's go ahead and juice one of those up. Now if we attack here, those will all both get pumped. Let's see if we can get away with this first. Alright. I'll pay for it. We have another one? Oh, bruh, you're kidding. They just had all the make disappears. That's a thing. Alright. I mean, you take 14. Sure. Alright, can they kill us here? Because if not, we're going to have a big lethal attack next turn. Actually, we need to get an untapped land for that to be truly lethal. Don't kill our Sovereign. They must have found it. Oh no, Virtue. But that does give them enough life to stay alive. So that does change the math pretty significantly. That's a real thing. Alright, we go to 9. Draw. Go to 6. That is a blocker. Alright, so here's what happens. If we activate our land, then everything will attack getting +1. So even if they block the biggest thing, this would get 5 more counters, so it would go from 6. Yeah, that's got to be lethal, right? If not, oh well. I screwed up. But I'm like, you block either one of those, that's 14. So yeah. Oh, Sovereign doing the work. Doing the work. Oh. How gross is it that the opponent had Edict, go for the throat, and got to use the Blood Tide Harvester. Even after discarding a Make Disappear, they had back-to-back Make Disappears and a Virtue. And somehow we won, really only making, like, 2 significant attacks. Like, that speaks to, like, this card is so hard to get to work right, but when it does, it literally only took us 2 attack steps to win. As crazy as that sounds. Like, it was literally 1 attack, the opponent took whatever it was, like 8 or whatever. Then the next attack, one of them only took 6. No, they took 8, because they had gained 2 life from Shieldred as well. And then we attacked again, and then you already have creatures big enough that letting any of them through was lethal. Like, that's so crazy. That card escalates so fast. Okay, we get to go first. We have 2 untap lands. Alright, alright. It seems worth, as they say. I think we still go, I think we go Skrelv's Hive for, or Skrelv here first. And then I think I want to Gala Greeters, then Wormlet. And we'll just see what happens. I think that's the order of operations here. Oh, I have to discard something. In this matchup, believe it or not, I want all my cards. So I'm going to be regretting that discard later. Alright. Sure. Looks like I'm discarding Elspeth. Oh, are you kidding? Alright, well now I gotta get rid of Wormlet, sadly. Jeez, that's a crazy start. Alright. Just gonna do what we can here. Try to protect the greeters at all cost, I guess. Because we are doing not much else at the moment. Alright. We get a treasure, because we're probably going to need it. Oh, another Gala Greeters, huh? Alright, I'm going to use this opportunity to gain 2 life. Because we took a lot there for a second. In the turn. Good news is, if there's a Shieldred, we can get lost the Shieldred. If that's even a thing. I don't know what they're planning on doing here. Besiege the Mirror, which probably goes and gets Shieldred. Or I could get a Planeswalker or something, I guess. But probably Shieldred. We're working on so little mana, too. This is gross. Alright. Wait, they got a Beseech to get another Beseech? Am I missing something? Wait, why would you... Is the opponent trying to... I don't... Or are they just trying to get them all out of their deck? For some reason? Get them all in the graveyard? I mean, that is one way if you need a bunch of, like, some number of sorceries or instants in the graveyard, I suppose. But then we're going to get Bloodletter. Okay. That's... Alright, I don't know what's happening right now. Yeah, let's go +1/+1? Oh, dang it, I should have got treasure with one of those. Alright, attack, attack, attack. End the turn. Alright, no blocks. 8. Gonna sack it to do something. Oh, Nexus. That's a good one. Alright, I don't think I'm gonna discard anything here. Not really worth it. I'll just... because I can gain 2 if I really want it. Decline. Not really a threat here. We can also make a creature unblockable if we want to. So that's a thing. This always only deals 1 damage when it dies, so that doesn't matter greatly. Alright. We will get... I almost want to just make these both 3/3s. And just say to hell with it, you know? But we would also be at a pretty low life, which is a concern. Alright. I think we make these both into 3/3s. And I'm going to draw an untapped land. Because I haven't drawn land in forever. You know, that's not a bad alternative, though. To be honest. We can just get our 2 life anyway that we wanted from each of these. And that's still kind of fine. Alright, that helps. And then we'll attack these 2 into here. And we'll send these 2 into here. Since the opponent's so far from dead. They'll get to kill one of our Galagreeters. Then kill Skrelv. But we kill all their stuff. And we're threatening a big attack next turn. Opponent's top decking here. Man, we have struggled. We are trying our damnedest to get there with no lands, but... in the graveyard, you lose a life, draw a card. Yeah. Alright, well, there goes the Galagreeters. Try as we might. Yep. Opponent goes to 11. Alright, where's that? There we go. I was about to say, where's that untapped land we've been waiting on? +1. Alrighty. Woo! God, that was brutal. The fact the opponent started with 3 Hopeless Nightmares was nuts. I still don't understand, though, the double breach thing. I don't know if maybe they thought it made another copy or something. That was just kind of a weird exchange. Not that it changed the game that much, because the second breach came out of the deck, so it's not like they really used anything else out of their hand. It was just a really peculiar situation. But yeah, that worked out great. There we're going to be able to attack for 6, put another lifelinker into play. After that, we're solid gold. Actually, yeah, because after that, we could even just minus an attack. So, yeah. Good stuff there on that one. Ooh, opponent goes first. I mean, I think we still have to keep this. But what we draw on this first draw kind of determine... Nah, I think we still just throw the Wormlet out there. Just say F it. You got it, you got it. We're just going to push. Especially if this is like mono blue, we're going to need to slowly sneak some creatures through anyway to get this Wormlet big enough to do anything. Looks like it's not. Usually mono blue there is either wanting to bounce something. Well, okay, I was going to say, usually they want to bounce something or draw a card on that first turn. Alright, counterspell number 1. Okay, I was going to say, I was going to be really shocked if that didn't happen. Alright, now this is where we need to draw a creature. You know what? If we're going to get a creature, that's as good as any. Alright, they're going to consider. Probably to try to get another counter. Alright. And attack for 2. I guess you could flash something in or whatever. Nope, they're going to Fading Hope it. And we'll just replay it. It looks like they have another. Nope, there was some kind of weird pause there. Alright, early Haughty. So now the question is, what type of counter do you have behind it? Or, oh, you know what? It might not even be a counter. It's probably something that, just like one of the things that gives the Haughty protection or whatever. One of those types of cards. So, playing Elspeth probably doesn't do enough. Let's try to sneak this guy down. I mean, if it is an actual counter, great. But, alright. Wasn't sure that it was. No attacks. There's a consider. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this off. We're going to have to get very lucky with what's in their hand. But we'll see. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Alright. Can we sneak this down? Nope. They're going to counter that. That's the first non-creature spell we played. So yeah, I was going to say, Spell Pierce or Negate. Both would have made sense there. I have 2 cards left. Alright. No attacks. Man, we've just done so bad at drawing other threats here that matter. This is tough. I probably should have just attacked with the Wormlet, knowing that they're not going to attack into our Death Toucher. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts quite a lot. That was not what we needed to draw here. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to have the capabilities to win here now. Needed that to be something that wasn't a Skrelv or a land. Yeah, because now I'm just trying to figure out like any plan that would get us out of trouble here, and they're all kind of bad. So I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do. I mean, I'm sure there's something. It's not you, though. That's not what we were looking for. But it is another Death Toucher we could leave on defense. So there is that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just play this. Get the extra +1. Get the 2 life gained, because it probably will matter here. Keep this one. This also does get us another creature that matters, because would it be another thing with a +1/+1 counter on it? Let's attack with this. And then there's the possibility that we're able to get the Sovereign through unblocked, so we don't have to worry about that getting hit. It's a random way, but something we might be able to do. Alright, then I guess we're going to have to try to go for it on our turn. I mean, I'm assuming they have something that could just phase out our creature or something and then we're dead. But, like, what else are we going to do, you know? I mean, this is kind of it. Ooh. Alright, that's a thing. Was not expecting to draw that. But we know they have a negate. So that's not going to do much. Alright. Let's see what the last cards are. I mean, this is kind of all we can do. Alright. Attack. Because this is kind of it. And I don't think it's going to be enough. If so, it's going to be like just barely enough. Let's see if they block the Sovereign, or actually they block 5. They take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it's not enough. Not enough. I was hoping maybe it would plus up the 4 to an 8, but it doesn't. Yep, that's all she wrote. All right, GG's. Wait, did they block in a way that we're actually... No, we're still going to be 1 short. Oh, they had 2 Fading Hopes? Ah, we're dead. We were toast anyway. They had all the answers. Oh, it's probably a March. Yeah, me not attacking that one time earlier got us dead. Sitting back on defense when I didn't have to, when they weren't going to block, those 2 points mattered. Or it might have been 3. Either way, still enough to end the game anyway. Yeah, opponent's just doing the math of like, I'm not really dead, am I? No, you're not dead, opponent. It's like they're like double checking, like, this isn't lethal. It is not lethal. Alright, they had to slip out the back anyway. Alright. Sure. I am not sure we're going to be able to move fast enough here against a domain deck, but we'll see. We at least have to get lost in case something like Atraxa shows up. So that's a thing. Let's go with... Man. I kind of want to just play Ozolith here. Alright, I think I am. I was just really debating what I wanted that to look like, but that's fine. Mostly because we don't have a good play next turn that like... We're going to be playing a 2-mana thing this turn and next turn, and probably killing a Topiary Stomper, so there's that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Alright, all we can do is attack. I don't know, maybe they don't have... I mean, they always have it, but maybe they don't have it. Like, one can hope. Nope. Oh, a Bonehorde Dracosaur. Well, that's a different thing we have to kill. Definitely was not anticipating that. But, it's kind of mandatory. Alright, treasure. I'm gonna put that there. Kill a Dracosaur. Attack for 8. Yeah, wasn't expecting Dracosaur to show up there. That caught me by surprise a little bit. Ogla, gonna get to fight something. Makes sense. You do not have reach, however. So this only puts 2 counters on the thing. Actually, no, this... Well, no, it doesn't matter, right? Because this will put an extra counter. Yeah, alright, we're good. Because we have a treasure, too. We have a few ways to do it if we want to. But, put the counters there. That gets flying. Make another treasure. Yep, there we go. Yeah, so this was a little interesting because the card that actually seemed to do the least, believe it or not, was Machiko's Reign of Truth. I thought we were going to get a little more value out of that, and we almost never needed it, as it turned out. I guess I would also say, because of the way the format is kind of trucking, I thought Kodama was going to do a lot of work here, and really didn't, and that kind of surprised me. So it's making me wonder if I want to swap Kodama and the Machiko's Reign of Truth for something else. Because, I mean, we do have a fair amount of creatures. We have 25. So, I mean, even if we cut the 2 Kodamas, we should have 23, plus Skrelv's Hive making creatures, and Elspeth. So, like, totally reasonable options. I'm just trying to decide, like, are there other things we want to be playing here? You know, even do we want to swap Elspeth for Wandering Emperor? Because that's actually pretty good in matchups we're not great in. But being able to just make a bunch of creatures. Elspeth was actually fine. Being able to give stuff flying actually mattered a couple of times. So, hard to want to cut that card here. I will say, though, I think... man, cutting the Kodama does kind of hurt. I definitely want to cut the Machiko's Reign of Truth. But I'm just not sure what I want to put in their place right now. Just flipping through cards here, I think if I were to replace them, my options would probably be somewhere between Sir Ginger, Dusk Legion Duelist as a way to be able to draw extra cards, because we do have both the Ocean Dissonant and the Ozolith to put counters on it, so that's an opportunity. Also, even with the map tokens from Sentinel Nameless Race. So that's all possible, that we could go with. But Intrepid Adversary is really good, just pumping up the team to try to get a big attack through. Like, that's reasonable. And it's some lifelink, if that's something we feel we need, because, like, Mono Red's not a good matchup for us. So that could be something worth considering here. Not huge, but it is something to do with our mana late in the game. And it kind of works with Sovereign as well, because it pumps your team on top of everything else. So I could be talked into that being an option. Maybe we do something like that. Maybe we go... 2 Adversary, 2 Dusk Legion Duelist, and that's 60. I don't mind having one more if we really wanted to do it, like Sir Ginger. I think it's still an artifact creature. It'll still trigger a lot of things. We are sacrificing several artifacts, so that could help as well between all the treasure and the map tokens that we're making. So it's possible, maybe... If you want to gamble and go 61, I say go ahead, put a Sir Ginger in there. If you want to stay at exactly 60, cut the Sir Ginger. I think that's going to be my advice here. But if you look at our curve, everything basically costs 2. We have 3 things that cost 4, 3 things that cost 3, and everything else costs 2. So all you have to really get to is like 3 or 4 mana, and you're going to be able to function and do everything you need to do. But that said... Here's the list we have as we're going forward. 3 Skrelv, 4 Teething Wormlet, 2 Dusk Legion Duelist, 2 Get Lost, 2 Intrepid Adversary, 2 Skrelv's Hive, 4 Galagreeters, 4 Ozolith, 4 Tough Cookie, 4 Ocean Dissonant, 2 Sir Ginger, 3 Sentinel the Nameless Race, 2 Archangel Elspeth, 1 Sovereign Okinec Ahau, 5 Plains, 6 Forest, 4 each of Brushland, Razorverge Thicket, and Restless Prairie. However, let me double check something. Yeah, I think... that still works out. I think we're good with that. Now, like I was saying, a couple of things we do have to consider is the early version of this was not necessarily great against Mono Red, because Skrelv is good against Mono Red, but not great once you're able to defend your creatures, usually if you're on the play. And then, of course, you almost never want to play Skrelv's Hive in that fight. You don't get blockers and just cost you life. The only time you'd want a Skrelv's Hive is if you just have a game where, like, Wormlet and Galagreeters for some reason live, and then you're just able to get the life off the creatures every time. But other than that, you're probably not looking for that. So I think by us going ahead and playing Dusk Legion Duelist, it gives us an attacker and a blocker. Also a way to find extra cards that we want. Having Intrepid Adversary gives us another way to gain some life. And I think that helps that matchup pretty significantly. Interestingly, I thought we were going to be weaker against the control decks, the sweepers. But as it turns out, we do have a fair amount of creatures, so we can just dole them out slowly. And that's fine. And then you still have stuff like Intrepid Adversary, Elspeth being able to make creatures, and that's pretty good. That said, this is a lot of fun, seriously. But I think if we're going to do this, I'm probably just going to end up making a straight +1/+1 counters deck that I think would be a bit better for what we're trying to do with this list. But this isn't bad. The creature lands, being able to gain life, whatever, it actually gives us a lot of options. I just think right now, the way the format is built up, I think when you're going to be running into so many Reanimator decks and everything else, because that's going to be popular, you're probably not going to be able to get away with the cards that you want to here. Realistically, you almost want to be playing the new Elf Sentinel that removes graveyards. I think that's actually a thing that's reasonable. But you're going to need stuff like that, because we're in that just point of the format where everybody wants to be reanimating things. And right now, you're going to be pretty weak to those unless you have just a crazy fast start. So keep that in mind. You may have to take some cards out, like the Dusk Legion Duelist or whatever, and just replace those with things that remove cards from the graveyard. And now for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about Knight of Autumn. This is a card that is still really good, and honestly still makes sideboards in some older formats, just because it's so versatile, right? Being able to pump your stuff, being able to gain life, but most importantly, being able to kill off something of your opponents that you don't like, right? Like, this card's actually really, really good. And It's one of those things I wish was found a way back into Standard, because it's such a versatile card to be really good for the red or white-green decks. But I don't know if it really fits anywhere, unfortunately, but it's just a sweet card. So yeah, if you want to play these as well, they're actually pretty cheap. Probably about 50 cents on a lot of websites. So a nice addition if you just need something where you're playing a creature deck and you don't necessarily want to give up creatures to get some extra spell quality. This card could be the one that does it for you. But if you enjoyed this and you're looking for other decks on themes, we actually played a pirate deck that played ships, so pirate ships, I guess. And that actually did surprisingly well, so you may want to check that out. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.